Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome to the Final Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Turbo the CEO. My special guest, well, he's my guest every Tuesday. Look forward to every episode every Tuesday with the Sensei, Big Mike. Tonight we got a great show. I have some information that I need to get out before we get started. Admin notes. We are official. The Final Boss Podcast is official as a business. The new Final Boss Podcast LLC. Listen, if you're a streamer or whatever platform that you're hosting, make sure that your documents and paperwork is legit. And if you're a podcaster, you need to be forming an organization under your podcast. Get some of those tax write-offs and other things. But also, here's another thing that I can celebrate for tonight, or we can celebrate. Saturn Digital Networks Development Corporation is in good standing. Woo! That was a doozy.
I tell you,
but we got it done.
Heavy lift.
Heavy lift. like heavy.
You feel like Atlas sometimes. You feel Atlas got that weight in the world on your back.
Right. You know, when we jump out there to do some of these things that we set our minds to, we're like Kid Icarus, right? And what happened to Kid Icarus? You got too close to the sun.
That's right.
Yeah, sometimes we get too close to the sun and don't realize what we have done. We're like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then we got the weight of the world like Atlas on our shoulders. So that is an amazing thing that we've been working on. And the merch is coming. You see the merch. The merch is coming. The merch store is on its way. Be looking out for that very, very soon. And please like, share, subscribe. All of our episodes. And please support us when we have the merch available because it is coming. Tonight's episode, number 52, Future Proofing Your Livelihood in the Age of AI. Our subject matter expert, the Sensei, he will be leading the charge. But before we get into that, I have my brass tacks that I like to give before we start every show. Tonight's brass tacks comes from a positive tone for leaders and mentors. And here it is. You gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. And with that, I lead you all and all my sparks to lead others to being smarts. And we're going to get right into it. Boom. That's it. Welcome back, everyone. I'm excited to have Mike on like every Tuesday. Super excited about that. I'm always excited when he and I can get together and go over the difficulty and the different difficulties and certain conversations that a lot of people aren't really talking about. I've searched high and low, and there are a lot of podcasts out there, but nobody is really talking about the things that we talk about. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the impact of artificial intelligence, AI, and how it affects the job market. And with that being said, it's Sensei, how you feeling?
Oh, like a rock star.
Oh man, you are a rock star, sir.
Living a dream.
Living the dream. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every day, you take a moment. I don't care when that moment is. We take a moment every single day to stop and say, man, today's a good day to be alive. If you can do that, you live that day. If you don't, you only existed. Do not exist on this planet. You must live.
You must live. And man, listen, you must live, people. You must live. We're going to start with the basics. And a few questions I have for Big Mike, some of which that we've discussed prior to tonight's discussion. The first are, what are some of the key ways AI is already impacting jobs? We've discussed on previous episodes articles and have provided different resources to our smarts. But what, in your opinion, what's impacting jobs when it comes to AI?
So when it comes to AI, it's gaining momentum.
Mm-hmm.
So the phrase is always an object in motion tends to stay in motion. And when AI got started, it was just a dream. And now it's in motion, but it's gaining traction and it's really gaining a lot of momentum. And so what's happening is it's creating the new industrial revolution. And we're watching it happen in front of us. And so because of that, you have to look at what was considered traditional jobs and traditional roles in the marketplace versus what's coming about now. And so when you look at that, I can just look at it from the big overall view, but I always like to ask questions. And the questions I like to ask are things that put it in context. And the context is, where are you in your career? Are you just starting in your career? Are you mid-range in your career and you got a good solid 15, 20 years left of work? Are you near the end of your career where you're less than 5 years from being finished? So what happens is depending on where you are in your career field,
Right.
in your career life, if you want to call it that, dictates as to how AI is going to affect you. Correct. If you're just getting started, man, this is the time and the place for you to be, developing those hard skills.
Right.
Now, there's different types of skills. There's the hard skills and then there's the soft skills. Okay. So let me give you a little example about that.
Okay.
So let's say that you, in a job that you wouldn't think, is super technical, which let's say that you come out of high school, you get a job working for the grocery store, stocking shelves, and then from there, you move on to keeping the place clean. Okay, that takes a lot of work. You ever been in a grocery store and see how big these things are? They're huge. Right. So it's a lot of man hours to keep that place clean, picked up neat, because it has to be clean for the customers the next day. So it's a lot of work to get done. Well, what's happened with the advent of machines? These machines are smart machines. Right. And they can go through and know if they've gone through an area or not and clean it. And do a lot of work that was done by human labor previously. So if you're young in the career field, you think, well, that job that I had is going away or is gone. But what job isn't going away? The person who maintains that piece of equipment. Somebody is always going to have to maintain the machines.
The machines, absolutely.
So if you can say, hey, I'm going to be in that, I'm young and I don't know what I'm going to do, but I want something that's going to be long lasting, then why don't you consider things like learning how to maintain machines?
That's a good point. Yes, sir.
Because if you do that, if you learn how to interact with them and maintain them, then your job never goes away.
Correct.
But if you're further down the road in your career and you're like 10 years into your career or 10 years left of your career, and you're in a job where you've been in the same job and AI is coming to replace that,
right? You
can sit and wait and be told, oh, you're not needed anymore. Suddenly you're gone. And there's a huge number of job sets that are going to be affected that way.
Absolutely.
We talked about a bunch of them.
Real.
But the people who can embrace the AI, learn how to work with it, learn how to leverage it, are going to be the ones who are going to be valued over the ones who have no skill set. I talk to people my age. I'm a boomer.
Right.
I was born in '63, so I'm a boomer. I'm at the end of the boom booms. I was kind of raised like Gen X, feral in the wild, but age-wise, I'm a boomer. But I'm more feral than anything else.
Right.
So I look around and I talk to people in my generation, and this stuff has so far surpassed them. They're lost.
Yeah.
And it's scary to see how lost the highest percentage of that population is.
I agree.
And then you find some that have embraced the technology as it's been growing, and those folks have just taken off. They have skill set. They know how to deal with anything.
True.
Then you see the younger folks coming up, the newest ones that are just now getting out of high school, and they don't have that same knowledge base that came from growing up with the technology as it grew up, right? As the technology was evolving, we evolved with it. Well, now these folks are coming in and it's already mature. So they're trying to play catch up to be on board with the technology.
Correct.
So those folks need to be working real hard. And there's a lot of things you can do.
Absolutely.
Talk about the free resources that are available to say, okay, what is AI and how do I know about it? Just do a quick search and you'll find tons of free resources. Just 2-minute YouTube videos that you can watch for 2 minutes at a whack and teaches you about things about AI.
Absolutely.
And repetitive tasks, those jobs that do repetitive tasks, data entry, those are the ones going to be the most affected.
Yeah. Programmers too.
Some programmers. See, here's the thing. You have layers of every job set, okay? If you're in the lowest part, these are the ones that are going to be affected. The higher you get to the top, these people aren't affected.
Correct.
These entry-level jobs, that's where people are going to be affected. The entry-level jobs and the beginning of the mid-level jobs.
True.
Because if you're an entry-level person, those are the jobs that are the cheapest volume-wise to replace.
Right.
So those are the ones that if you're that entry level, you need to get yourself up to a higher level as quick as you can.
True. Yeah.
And so you have to develop those skills. Now, we always talk about the soft skills. These are things that the AI can't replicate. That's the human interaction skills. So if you're a teacher, okay, and you teach and you educate, that's a future-proofed job because at this point, AI is not developed enough and to have that ability to transfer knowledge. Okay. If I have a direct interaction with you, I can transfer knowledge to you much more efficiently than if you're just watching a YouTube video.
True.
And that skill set's not going to go away. The teaching, that's not going to go away. Education is going to be huge. And when I say education, I do not mean the 4-year degree route.
Right.
You know, unless you're going to be something that requires a 4-year degree, you don't do a 4-year degree. So how do you, if you're young, and how do you future-proof yourself? If you didn't graduate in the top 10% of your class to 10 to 20% of your graduating class, if you didn't graduate in the top, don't do a 4-year degree.
Right.
Don't take on the debt. So this is how you future-proof yourself at that point, is don't take on that debt and have a 4 to 5 years to get a 4-year degree that acts like a high school diploma. That's the value of it. So what you do is you do a 2-year degree or a trade school.
Okay.
Now you have a job set that pays you out the gate. Right?
Right.
So if you do an apprenticeship or a skill set that you're taught a job, those jobs don't tend to be replaced.
Correct.
Carpenter, electrician. Okay. Now that's the low end is I'm a low end person working, but that job doesn't go away because you still need laborers. And then you still need carpenters, electricians, and plumbers, and HVAC people that build buildings and repair buildings and things of that nature. Those jobs are never going to go away. You cannot replace a plumber. I'm sorry, but AI is not going to clean your toilet.
Not that smart.
It's not that smart, okay?
Right.
It's just not happening. And there are specialty jobs that if you can get into, you're guaranteed income for life. And one of those is a well driller.
Oh, okay.
And you might not think that that's anything glorious, but how do you get into doing well drilling? Well, you start out by going to work out in the oil rigs.
Great pay.
You can go, and that gets you the experience there, and then you can go from there into learning about drilling, and then you can get moving forward and work with a drilling company. What happens? You end up becoming a certified well driller. You're never going to be out of work. And water is gold. Water is more valuable. Potable water is more valuable in our life than gold is.
Yes, absolutely.
There
are a lot of things going on around the world when it comes to water.
Precious resource is water.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you can be a well driller, that's one of those future-proof jobs. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
saying it's easy to do it. It's not easy to get into it. But you know how few well drillers there are? And how
Right.
few are coming into the market because nobody wants to do the job. But I'm going to tell you what, if you want to make a lot of money in the future and you're a young person and you've got the gumption to do it, that's one field you can be future-proof. You can't replace the mechanic who's repairing your car. You're not replacing that.
Right.
Okay? And there's just on and on and on. Many, many jobs that are that way, that the low-end portion of the job will be replaced by machines or AI.
Right.
But
So
the
question
mid-range
for
and
you.
the high, hit it.
You just mentioned mechanics. I was looking at the World Economic Forum jobs report. And as we transition more into electrical vehicle space, I don't know. It's a slow process. It's still a lot of government red tape with that. But mechanics are becoming more technical in the information technology space versus just hands-on tools. So there's a lot of programming with that. So yeah, mechanics definitely becoming more IT savvy when it comes to their position. So
absolutely. For example, when you want to tune a car back in the day, the mechanic would do various things to your car, put a different carburetor on, different spark plugs, headers, etc. Nowadays, cars are hopped up by tuning them.
Yes.
It's done by the computer. And so if you want to tune cars or work on cars, even working on a basic car requires computer skills.
Absolutely.
Just to make them run.
Yeah.
They have to have all the equipment, the readers, they have to know what it means, diagnose it, find the parts that have to be replaced, etc. So there's a lot that's done technology-wise in the field of mechanics. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
100%. So you look at that and go, okay, that's a skill set. Okay.
Correct.
So you look towards the hard skills. Those are the ones where that's absolutely future-proof. So then let's move on to a little bit of things of the softer skills. And you think, well, what do you mean a soft skill? All right. Advanced problem solving. AI is good for repetitive tasks or regurgitating information it already has.
Right.
But when it comes right down to brass tacks, creativity is not one of AI's strong suits yet. Now, I said yet.
That's a strong yet.
Yet. It's getting stronger by the day, but it's not a strong suit yet. Creativity.
Yeah.
All right. So because of that, if you're in a field and you need to get to your mid-level range of whatever field you're in to get a little, because the higher you are in the hierarchy, the higher you are in the food chain, the more future-proof you are. Okay? And I'll give you an example. Accounting. Basic accounting, count those jobs is going to be gone.
Yeah.
Paralegals, count those jobs is going to be gone. Now, some specialties will stay, but the majority, the big chunk, that's where the hit's going to be. But if you're further more advanced in those job sets, you're a specialized accountant who does specialty accounting. You are one who does certain analysis that requires creativity and human thinking. You're an advanced critical thinker. You're not at the base level, just data entry. You're up here.
Right.
You are future-proofed. And so you see, how do I get to that? How do I become that person? And the way you do it is just like you do anything else. You find someone who does it already or is at that level and try and learn from them and say, hey, what's it take to get where you are? I want to be where you're at.
Right.
And tell me the pitfalls. What are the stepping stones? What do I need to do as my high points? And what do I need to avoid? And then people that are advanced in their fields, if you can communicate, tend to want to, well, they will share that. They want to pass the torch, so to speak.
They will share.
But you can't be a dirtbag and expect that. You need to have, have some personality, right? Because it requires having personality for people to work with you. Another thing you can do is you can surround yourself with people who have the similar mindset as you do. And you hear the phrase again and again and again, birds of a feather flock together. Well, that means that people who have a similar mindset tend to be able to come up with ideas for each other.
Absolutely.
If I'm thinking here and everybody around me is thinking here, I don't have anybody feeding me.
True.
I need to talk to people at my own level. Or if I can, try to contribute to talk to people that are above me. Learn from them.
Yeah.
Try and play catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, you have to think ahead. You can't just think now, today.
Right.
You've got to look and think about it. And you say, all right, the future belongs to people who are going to adapt, right?
Right.
Adaptation is going to be the most critical skill you're going to have, because no matter what comes down, as long as you're adaptable, you're going to be fine. That's where the big game changer is.
That's huge. So, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
How can people future-proof their careers presently? I remember seeing a course where we both were looking at different learning platforms like Coursera, and I think it was another one. I think it was called EDX or something like that. But we looked at those different educational platforms, and we were thinking like, hey, how can these items be future-proof and the careers within?
So one of the things you want to look at is there's three things that matter in a job in getting job or employment or careers. And if you want to get a new job or you want to move into a different position, there's three things that matter. There's education, certification, and experience. Those are your three pillars of job hunting, okay? And so if you're looking to move into another career field, your career is changing, your field is changing, you want to move to another career field, or you want to just move up in your career field, okay? Another job came open above you.
Right.
So what are you looking for? You're looking for those three things. So education, again, certain jobs require a degree, many jobs don't, because certification is becoming the key. So if you want to future-proof yourself and you're in a career field that has the ability for you to get certified. Because by you being certified, you're going to be using the tools that the company or the workplace is going to need.
Right.
So getting certified. So if I'm in cyber is not going away. I don't care how much AI there is. You need cyber technicians. Okay? So cyber is a huge career field that's growing like gangbusters right now, and there's a huge lack of it right now. Get into forensics, computer forensics. It's a huge marketplace.
Right.
But you can get certified in that. So the more certifications you have, that gives you the opportunity to get a job working for a company who does that, which gets you the experience. You see where I'm going? Future-proof yourself by doing things which move you towards that goal. So getting certified, that's I'm going to tell you, is probably one of your number one things you can do in any industry. I don't care what it is. Get certified. Used to be back in the day, if you wanted to be in computers, you had to get CCNA. It's a Cisco certification. Because Cisco had the market cornered for firewalls. But not so much anymore. Cisco doesn't have the market cornered. There's tons of other competitors out there, a lot cheaper.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Go get certified in how to run voice over IP systems, VoIP systems. That's voice telephone systems.
Yep. That's
Learn how to do that. Learn how to implement those. Learn, get certified that says, I'm certified on that platform.
Correct.
You want to get certified in something? Go get certified in Google. Go get certified in AWS, which is Amazon platform.
Amazon, correct.
Yeah. So you can go out there, and many of these certifications are free training or materials or very low expense. But once you're certified in that, what's happening now? You're pushing your mindset towards that field, and that means you're going to now be starting to apply for those types of jobs.
Absolutely.
And look, in the AWS world, out there in creating virtual servers and server space, if you are certified in that, it's huge, because so much is moving towards a cloud environment, which is where you're just on somebody else's computer, okay? But your interface to it isn't physically in your building, it's somewhere else. So the marketplace for that is just blowing up. Right. So look for the career fields that are blowing up. Compare that to the career fields that are dying. Go and don't take my word for it. Do some searches, do some homework. Use AI to help you even figure that one out. You ask it, hey, what career fields are most affected by AI in the next 5 years? What career fields are going to be least affected? And then find out where you are. And my job is, and then you tell it what your job is. Then you say, in this job, how do I future-proof this? And I'm talking specifics now. If I'm saying that I am a dental hygienist, okay?
Right.
How do I future-proof myself? What are the new and upcoming technologies that I need to learn? See, here's the key. Dental is always changing.
Absolutely.
It's always new technology. So
Mm-hmm.
do you want to be, even if you're a dental assistant, do you want to be certified on the newest technologies that are out there? So you can say to a dentist, I'm certified in this new 3D imaging system that is used to create a tooth image.
Absolutely.
I know how to run that for you.
Yep.
So that's what you're doing, is you're finding a career field that either you're already in and you find out or ask, how is it being affected? And then you find out the tools that you need. Either A, you're going to stay in that career field,
right,
and you're going to get better so that you're left behind, or you're going to say, oops, it's a dead end. I have to get out of this career field. And that's how you future-proof yourself, is saying, oh, this career is dying in the next 5 years. I need to be putting my energy to moving to another career field. And that's how you future-proof yourself, is that you recognize that your industry is dying and you need to be in another career field.
You know, that really hit home. And we're seeing automation across various sectors, from manufacturing, customer service to data entry, have all types of revisions. My question is, now that we've talked about those various positions, let's talk about AI. Let's talk about AI related skills that might be in demand.
Of course, you're the one who runs it and I'm going to do a comparison for folks that are understanding of this, smarts.
Yeah. Smart.
Back in the day, if you could operate a computer, it was an extra skill set. It was above and beyond. You were hired because you were the person who could run the computers.
Correct.
Now it is a basic skill required. Microsoft Office, how to use Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all those were extra skills. Now those skills are considered minimum requirements. So that needle has moved.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So now treat AI the same way. AI right now is a enhanced skill. It's like, if you can use AI to enhance the job you do, you're head and shoulders above your peers. But it's going to be coming a day where it is a common minimum required knowledge. So don't get left behind.
Right.
If I'm doing something and I've done it for 5 years, so 5 years from now, I've been running AI and using AI to enhance everything I do for 5 years. I have 5 years of experience that no one else has. That future-proofs me. That makes me more valuable than the person who has no experience, doesn't know how to do anything. And look, even an accountant nowadays has to be an expert in Excel. Has to be. You're to the point now where you have to be an expert in things like SQL, Oracle, Crystal Reports, database management. You have to know some of that to even perform your job at a higher level. So if you know that that's where you're going to be, go get the education in that. Go take some classes in that. Get certified in it. Now, once the phrase has always been said, when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. If you have the desire to do something.
Wait, time out. Say that again.
When the student is ready,
listen up.
The teacher will appear.
Man, that's.
If you want to learn something, if you truly, truly desire it, and you're hungry for it, you'll find a way. And then when you find a way, what's going to happen? A door will open because you've been beating on that door. And maybe that door doesn't open, but the door right next to it did.
Man, Mike.
Now, I'm going to explain one other quick concept. You ever heard the term luck?
Yes, of course.
I like to define luck as opportunity meeting preparedness.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so,
sir.
I was teaching a class in Tennessee. We were headed to lunch. There was a group of us. We got out of the car. We were all walking next to each other, walking to the same door to the same restaurant.
Gotcha.
Nobody was ahead of each other. We were all walking together. I was paying attention, and I saw a dollar bill on the ground. And I looked down, and I grabbed the dollar bill, and I picked it up. So you would say that I was lucky, right? But everybody else had the same opportunity. But they weren't ready for the opportunity.
True.
And they weren't hungry for the opportunity. So therefore, they didn't take advantage of opportunity. Opportunity comes to all of us every single day.
Every single day.
And if you're not ready for opportunity, it's going to pass you by and you will be left behind.
Correct.
But if you're hungry for opportunities, they will be there for you.
Listen, to my smarts, I hope you're taking notes. And listen, man, another great show. And we have more. We just hit the halfway mark. We have more to come. We're diving deep into the conversation of AI and opportunities. They're out there.
We've talked about some of the resources available in the AI world.
Absolutely.
So use AI to learn about AI. I mean, it's right there.
Right.
You tell AI, I want to learn about how to use AI and make my job better. Give me some guidance.
Yeah.
And it's going to give you guidance. Now, I'm not saying it's perfect, but it's going to get the ball moving. So
let me ask you. Oh, no.
Ask.
Are you good? You good?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Great point, man. And I'm glad that's going to lead into what my next question is. We were just talking about AI and specifics, and even inquiring AI about AI positions. What industries are likely to experience the most significant growth, in your opinion?
Growth. I think, me personally, I think the higher end skill sets. I think that engineering. I think that design. Because it's going to be, you're going to use it as an enhancement. You're not going to use it to replace it, but you can use it as an enhancement. So it's going to make your designs better because the AI is going to help you vet your design. Right. So I believe in design. I believe in engineering. Your folks who use CAD, your CAD folks who are all of your architects,
right,
of all classes, surveyors, people who run those programs are going to be having tools which are going to be utilizing AI to enhance what they do. Those are going to be hugely impacted. So those are the prime marketplaces for people to enhance their skill set right now, because those tools are going to be there. And if you know how to take advantage of it, of course, you're more valuable to the company.
Absolutely.
And you're better off, right?
Yep.
So it's going to be so much of an impact. It's going to affect every industry. I don't see many that aren't touched by it, and to include even plumbers and carpenters. Okay. Let me put it this way. I'll make it real simple. I'm building a she shed.
Okay?
Oh yeah. Well, I got evicted from my she shed, so it's not. I got evicted, so I'm no longer allowed in the she shed. So I have to now relegate it to another space. But when I need to come up with what the materials are, the list of materials for the next phase of the build, I go to AI and say, I'm building a building of this dimension. I'm using that standard door, and I'm using a French door, and I'm using this, and my slope is, and I'm using this high of a wall here and that high of a wall there, and this is what I'm doing. How much do I need of this material?
Correct.
And it can go through and it runs the calculations for
the calculations. Yeah.
So if I'm in that industry, and I'm a plumber, and I say I'm in a building of this size doing this thing, and I need this, what am I going to need? Let it do all the whole heavy lifting for you. It'll do that heavy thinking for you. I'm not saying don't have the skill set to double check it. I'm saying it's going to make it much, much better for you.
Absolutely. Let AI be your atlas.
Absolutely. Let it carry the burden.
Yes.
You tell it what to do and where to go. It's going to go.
It's going to go.
You know, and there are, I've mentioned this before, POE, Poe. Poe is a platform or a location that can grab many, 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 many different AI engines and pick which one you need for the question you have.
Right.
To answer it.
Yeah.
So music industry is going to be dramatically changed.
Definitely
changed. When you can take something like music and you say, analyze the following songs that are number one hits or popular, and find the commonalities in between them. AI is going to be able to analyze that music and tell you what the key magic sauce is.
Absolutely.
So if you create music, add some of that magic sauce to your music. You see, it's going to make your music better.
Correct.
You still have to know how to play the instruments. You still have to know how to sing. But it's going to enhance what you do.
Absolutely.
If you're a content creator, let AI enhance your content creation.
Absolutely.
See that. So make it so that you use it to benefit you, rather than sitting there struggling.
Correct.
You know, if you're a writer and you write a book. So, and I'm not saying this is for creativity purposes, but you have the creativity.
Yeah.
But you can ask and says, I'm creating a book on this subject. Give me some high points that I should try to not forget. It's going to let you be better at your trade.
Absolutely.
Look, I told AI, I says, in the style of, and I gave it 3 different personalities out there in the world that I find their content very interesting. In the style of those 3 people, this is my subject. Give me a book outline. And it took their styles, because it knows all of their books that they've all written.
All written, right.
And it knows their style already. And then it could take their styles and blend them. And I pick and choose what you want out of it. And what I did is I took a jigsaw puzzle. And I could put together my own puzzle out of those different odd pieces.
Yep.
So that's content creation. Now, I'm not saying be lazy about it. You're going to have to work at this. It's easy.
Yeah.
So in this world, you have 3 things that you hear about. You hear about luck, natural talent, and hard work. Which one wins the day? Hard work, always.
Absolutely.
People's luck runs out. How many basketball players have you known that are super talented and do nothing? They do nothing now. Football players, people that are talented beyond, and you go, oh my God, this person is the most talented person I've ever seen in this sport. And now they're gone. They just disappeared.
Yep.
They're not relevant anymore. Well, what's the only thing that wins the day? That is hard work. Look at the top. Look at the top basketball players in history. Every one of them has one thing in common. They work harder than everybody else.
True.
Look at the Michael Jordan story. Worked harder than anybody else. Kobe Bryant worked harder than anybody else. Dennis Rodman worked harder than anybody else. He would work out after a game.
Yeah. Which was crazy. Yeah, I saw that.
And nobody could understand why.
Yeah.
But his muscle memory was so good. And he practiced his skill so much. He wasn't a scorer who could score baskets. But my God, in his realm, what he did, there were none better.
No, nobody was better.
No, but it was hard work.
Yeah.
So you want to get future-proofed in this stuff? Hard work. If you're a gamer and you like playing games and that's enjoyable to you, then you need to go to the next level. So when my son was growing up, and this is back in the day there when computers were still, not babies, but close. And he was being homeschooled. So gave him a box of computer parts and says, build a computer.
Right.
And then it was, once you build a computer, now you build the next level of computer. And we'll talk from DOS to Windows 95. Now, when he was in Windows 95, he was playing this game, and he was a gamer. He loved playing this game. And the problem was he was getting in trouble for playing the game too much. Well, one day I walk in, I said, what are you doing? He goes, well, I'm building a map for the game. And I'm like, what? Show me this. And I said, show me this. And he goes, yeah, I'm building a map. Because in these games, there's these maps, and that's how you play the game, is you go in a map and you find your way around, you do stuff. Oh, and what are you doing? Show me. And I had him show me what he was doing. What he was doing is because he enjoyed the game so much, he started learning how to build maps, custom built maps for the game. And the tools that he was using are the same tools you use in AutoCAD.
Nice.
And I was like, man, you can do this as much as you want.
Yeah.
Have at it. You want to build a million maps? This skill set is going to cover you the rest of your life. And you know what he does now?
What's that?
He designs automated systems for buildings that do all the command and control for lighting, windows, audio, visual, everything in one solid, complete system. And he builds it using the knowledge he learned as a child, building maps for a
That's
game.
awesome.
So this one thing if you want to be a gamer, but
I'm sorry, Mike. That's awesome, man. Man. That's awesome. Yeah.
So if you're gonna be a gamer, step up your game. Step it up.
Absolutely.
Get into the next phase of it. Don't just be a consumer. Be a producer.
Be a producer.
You see? And if you're just a consumer of anything, know that you're on the bottom of the food chain.
Absolutely.
So don't consume. Learn how to produce in anything you do. I don't care what it is. If you can produce, you won't be left behind. So what did I tell you? Big chunks.
Right.
Certification. Certification is going to guide you to the mindset, which is going to help you to be around the people who do that stuff, which is going to do what? Get you up there, right? You're hanging with the right people. You're going to float to the top.
Yep.
Okay. Be a producer, not a consumer. If you're just a consumer, you are replaceable. If you are a producer, you are not.
Correct.
And that is a key to success in any industry.
Any industry, absolutely.
Produce.
So, 2 questions, and I'm going to give you these 2 questions at the same time. How can people identify promising career paths? And how can AI be leveraged to create new business opportunities?
Okay, so the first part.
Okay.
In order to find a career path or identify a career path or something that as you're wanting to move around, and you say, "My God, there's so many opportunities." So one thing you need to identify is what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. You have to know who you are and what you're good at, okay, and find out where does that fit. And what can you use to help you with that?
Correct.
Let me think of a tool that you could use that could help you figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. Is there a tool out there that could do that?
I'm sure it is. SWOT analysis. Absolutely.
It's called AI, right?
Yeah.
So you could use AI to help you to identify your strengths, your weaknesses, and what career fields would match up with your strengths, capitalizing on your strengths. Now, there's a career path that I would never want to be involved in because I put it in the same realm, and I apologize in advance for saying this, but there's certain, like used car salesmen, they have a place in the world. But I kind of put guidance counselors in the same place. Sorry for all the teachers and guidance counselors, because they feed the kids the wrong message, right?
Okay.
All right. So the guidance counselors say, do what you love. You'll never work a day in your life. Oh my God, that's the biggest lie there ever was. It's the biggest lie. It's
right.
It's a huge lie. Here's what you do. And I say this to everybody I talk to. Do what you're good at and what makes you money. Now, in your time, do what you love. Because if you monetize what you love, you will no longer love it. It will become a job to you, and you're going to hate what you used to love. So let's give an example. These young kids who come up playing soccer, and they love soccer or baseball. Right. They love it. It's the best thing ever. And they're great at it, and they love every minute of it. Okay. All through elementary school, they play. All through high school, they play. Now they go to college. And if they're good enough in those, they go to college. But what happens when you get to college? What occurs in the mindset of the game? Does it change from fun to a job?
Yeah.
And it's a work. Yeah. And the people who do it never play another day in their life.
True.
Because they now hate what they used to love because it got monetized. Do not monetize your passion. Do what you're good at. Do what makes you money. I hate my job. So what? We all hate our job. Tough tookie. Do it. Get good at it. Get better at it. You hate it. Do you make money at it? Yep. Are you good at it? Yep. Are you replaced? Nope. Why? Because I'm good at it. Excellent. Do you hate it? Yep. Good. Hate it. So what? Suck it up, Buttercup. Hate your job. Who gives a damn? Does it pay you every week or pay you every month? Do you get money? Now, in your time, you can afford to do what you. So here's what you have: you have time, money, but you never have both at the same time.
Right.
So if you have a passion and you say, "I love painting. It inspires me, and it's wonderful," you monetize it. Now, every time you go to paint, I now have to think about the dollars associated with it, and I can't enjoy it for what it is. It now became monetized. And I hate painting. Now I get painter's block. I like to write. Writing is fun to me. Excellent. Now I monetize it. Now it's a job. I hate it.
True.
Don't monetize what you love. Future-proof yourself by keeping a piece of you for you. Save a piece of you for you so that you can have a place where you feel that you can be expressive or be whatever. And I love doing this. It fires me up. Good. Excellent. And get your butt out there and grind tomorrow.
Get it. Last question.
Yes.
We just talked about jobs. Let's talk about businesses. What advice would you give someone who's starting an AI related business?
There's so many pieces of it. You're going to have to now go out there and you're going to have to research your tools, which are going to be used for that particular business. You're doing content creation. Good. Find the tools which assist you with that. You're doing website design and you want to be able to be really good at that. And that's your gig and you love it. And you're doing, or you love it, but you're good at it.
Right.
And you have the ability to think about things. Find those tools which are going to help you to cut down how much time it takes for you to create a project. Find things to streamline your process in your business. Okay. If you're going to be a businessman or a business person and you're starting out running a business, there's certain key fundamentals that nobody tells you about running the business. If you're a pizza person and you make pizzas, that's fantastic. But now you got to do logistics. You got to do bookkeeping. You got to be an attorney. You got to do HR. You got to do all these skills that nobody tells you about, but I'm really good at making pizzas and I make money at making pizzas. Excellent. Learn the rest of the business. Let AI help you with the rest of your business.
True.
Let AI develop for you your HR policies. Let it help develop your policies and procedures you need, your PMPs. Let it help you to find out the best place to set up your corporation. Let it help guide you in how to establish the business side. Let it help you to organize your inventory so you now know everything you have, what you need. So now you're tracking everything. Let it be the assistant for you. What's the big deal that's going to be happening? Digital assistants. If you're doing a business, use AI to be your digital assistant, which helps remind you of things and helps you to keep track of what's going on because you got a lot happening. Have an AI assistant helping you over your shoulder.
Absolutely.
And that's going to help you jumpstart your business. No matter what your business is, no one talks about the logistics of running a business. Everybody talks about, I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm this. Nobody talks about the million things behind the scenes.
Man, I got paper. Listen,
I'm telling you,
exactly.
Nobody tells you about
nobody.
That. But that's the part you need to know, and that's how you can leverage AI to help you with your business. It doesn't matter what it is, and help AI to say what are the up and coming businesses. So if I want to jump on that bandwagon, I can.
Right. Can I add a resource?
Realize if it's oversaturated, then stay the hell away from it.
I want to add a resource to that statement. The World Economic Forum has a list. Everyone, a future jobs report on the WEF, and it's per year. Go check that out. You want a resource to understand what's up and coming and what we're going to be faced with in the job community. WEF, World Economic Forum. Go check it out. You can download it as a PDF and boom, you have all the information you need.
All of it there.
It's one of our many resources for tonight as well. Man, yeah. But yes, please, sir.
Take advantage of what's out there, right?
Absolutely.
Look, the world is your oyster, so to speak. There's so much available. You just have to get out there and work it.
True.
Stop doom scrolling.
Boom.
And if you don't know what doom scrolling is, go look it up.
My smarts aren't doom scrollers, Mike.
When
I know this.
When it's time to go to sleep,
Yeah.
Your phone should be like in sleep mode.
True.
And you should not be in the middle of the night grabbing your phone and taking your 3 to 4 hours of prime sleep time and destroying it.
Sometimes I'm guilty of that.
We all are.
Sometimes I'm guilty.
It's just terrible. It's you know,
Yeah.
the problem with it is it's worse than crack cocaine is the problem with it.
Oh boy.
It's the dopamine it hits. It's that constant dopamine hit,
Yeah.
and the problem with that is now you crave that, and you're gonna do whatever it takes to get that.
True.
And that's just it's hard.
Man, if it's taken away, oh boy. Man,
well, look at these children called linkers.
I know. We've talked about linkers before.
Yeah, we did. They take the phone away from them, they lose their mind.
Absolutely.
And all the people that are high end in the tech industry don't let the children touch technology till at least 10 years old. What's that tell you?
Tells you a lot. Tells you a lot. So, Mike,
because guess what they are before 10 years old?
What's that?
They are consumers.
Yes.
And there's another word we used previously we're not allowed to say.
Don't say
medieval. It's a medieval term.
Don't say it. They know. They know.
So you can be one of those, or you can choose to not be one of those.
Right.
If you're one of those, you are a consumer. Treat consumer as the same as that word. Okay? It's a dirty word, but it's the same. If all you do is consume and you don't produce, you're one of those.
You're one of those.
And you don't want to be break that chain, break that shackle, whatever it takes. But here's the thing. Most people won't break the chain.
No, they won't.
Most people don't mind being enslaved. Look, you watch The Matrix. And he said, I know it's not steak, but man, put me back in. Most people would rather live in the Matrix.
Correct.
Most people can't handle freedom.
Well, sir, as always, thank you for sharing your insights. It's clear that adapting and upskilling are crucial for navigating in this new space of future work. And as we see today, you're going to have to make a decision, right? You're going to have to make a decision. Either you're going to go along with the times and be put in a situation worse than you started with, or you're going to say, you know what? I want to better myself, use the tools that are readily available, and make my situation better than it was where I'm at today. Right now, we're at a split. You're either going to go with the program or you're going to be left out of the program. That's the message. So my smarts, I hope you received the message. Sir, do you have any final thoughts before we close out?
My final thoughts before we close out. If you're not hungry, you're never looking to get fed. If you're not hungry, you don't have the energy, you don't have the desire, you don't have the fire in your soul. You have to find your fire. You have to find that thing that drives you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what it is. That's that goal creation. That's a whole nother subject of how to create goals. You have to find something that every day says, today I need to get out there and get it.
Absolutely.
And that fire is what's going to drive you for excellence.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have that, you become complacent. If you become complacent, what's next? You become apathetic. You don't care. And then you stop working. You stop trying. So you have to be hungry. The hungry people are going to be the ones out there hunting the best.
Yes.
And those are the ones who are going to capture the meal.
Correct.
And if you're not hungry, you can't fix that. Either you have it or you don't. And if you don't, and you want to be a consumer, so be it. Consume. Mm-hmm. But if you don't want to be a consumer, don't stay in the mindset of ground up. Put yourself in the mindset of top down thinking. But remember, you cannot always be in the clouds. You have to be able to navigate between the two to be effective.
Yep.
If you're not effective, you're just going to be lost. And it's really hard to gain traction to be effective.
It is.
Especially when your feet are in the mud. So when your feet are in the mud, stop looking at your feet. Look at the mountain. Start walking towards the mountain. Eventually you get out of the mud. Eventually the mud dries off your feet. They lighten up. The load becomes less. Your steps become better, stronger, more straight. And the path becomes not easier, but you see more progress in your path.
Correct.
Stop looking at your feet.
Stop looking at your feet.
Stop looking at where you are and look at where you want to be.
And where you're going.
Find people who are where you want to be and talk to them. How did you get there? What's it take? What should I do? What could I do? What are the high points? High points to hit, low points to miss. Don't make this mistake. Do this.
Do that. Correct.
It gives you a straight path.
Absolutely.
And with a straight path, you can have purpose.
Absolutely.
And then don't let people around you drag you down. It's always said, do your hardest work in private and your final product in public.
Man, that right there deserves a cheer, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, the sensei. As I said before, and as we've been saying all night long, stop being a consumer. Become a producer. The producer who produces the product for the consumer. That's the space you want to be in. That's it.
That's how you future-proof.
That's how you future-proof.
That's how you future-proof. Produce.
So smarts. That's it. To my smarts, I know you guys are out there becoming producers. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Please continue to support, like, and share, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions for us, please email us at info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. That's the email, info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. We have our own email server. That is the URL for the email, info@thefinalbosspodcast.com. Email us with questions, concerns, things that if you want to be on the channel, if you want to be on the you want to be a guest host. Thursdays, our new show. I'm having special guests on every Thursday. So again, I'm on Sunday. Sensei and I are on Tuesday. And every Thursday, we have a different special guest. This week's special guest is none other than Colonel Camilla White. Colonel Camilla White will be joining us on Thursday. She's retired United States Army Colonel. She's also my beloved aunt. She has a wealth of knowledge and information that she's going to bring to the table on many different things, such as managing your life, leadership, and something that's very dear to us, Alzheimer's, which affects us all. We have in our communities, our loved ones, we know someone who's either suffered from dementia or Alzheimer's. She will be here to talk to us on Thursday as our special guest. Tune in then. Same channel. Live at 9 p.m. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, StreamYard, YouTube, Spotify the next day for those who like to just listen. And with that being said, we also have the merch that is coming. The merch store will be coming. Look out for that link as well. Man, it's exciting times. Embrace the excitement. Embrace the challenges. Diamonds are made under pressure. Also, our slogan for closing: stay smart, stay balanced, or stay equal. Stay equal, stay balanced, stay smart. And that's our show for tonight. We got 30 seconds, sir. You want anything else you got?
Live every day. Enjoy
every day, man.
Every day. Do not exist. Live.
Man, great show. And with that, we're going to bid you guys adieu and have a great night and a great week.